Hey everyone, it's Sarah, Painter Creator here. So today I'm doing some more of my unicorns. So it's this one, and I've just transferred it using some graphite powder. And then I'm going to be using my Inktense paints because they're really nice and bright and vibrant, and that's really what I want for this one. Use them just like watercolours and play, which is always nice. So I'm just going to wet the face and the neck, and I'm just going to use this a nice sort of bright blue as a little bit of a shadow colour. So just like normal watercolours, they do dry lighter, but not as light. So I'm just using lots of water, but just dropping the shadows and the textures in and letting the water do their thing. So this series of unicorns are very loose, they're very gentle around it. Just sort of sculpting, thinking, oh, do I want that hard line? Just gently, and you could just use any of your blues. Cerulean blue, cobalt blue would work really nicely, but nice and gentle. And I want that shiny bit, so I'm going for a darker blue. It's more of an indigo or a navy blue is this. I'm just going to darken around the muzzle, tap tap tap, and again I'm going to let the paint do its thing around the muzzle. So I'm just dotting that in. I forgot to press record, and I'm just going to drop a little bit with plenty of water under that eye socket as well. So just sculpting as we go, a little bit in there, and some water down. And then a little bit of a shadow under here. Soften off with some water. Water is your friend. It's a little bit of negative painting, so you get that sense of the head being away from underneath. And I'm just going to let that settle into I might just darken a little bit on this bottom lip, a bit around here. And tap will darken a little bit, tap 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 under here. So you could be using Payne's Grey at this point. My favourite, as you know. That's a little bit of dark around here. Plenty of water, smooth it away. So I'm going to let that dry for a little minute, and then I'll dry it off with a hairdryer. This is drying quite nicely. I'm just going to go into the ears with a little bit of the dark. Just going to wet the inside of that one. Let me just work out. So that's the other ear. I'm just going to go in with that navy, the same dark. So if you've used Payne's Grey, just use Payne's Grey. And then just water underneath and let it just do its thing. A little bit of that light blue. And then just some water. Maybe I used a little bit too much blue, but that's fine. We can survive. A little bit more of this dark around here. Some water, and then just soften it into the wash. Along that jawline. Okay, soften those marks. So back in with a hairdryer, I think. Just going to drop some of that more dark into there. And back. Before I do the hairdryer, let's put the shadow onto the base of that horn as well. I'm going to use the same blue. Just wash that away with a little bit of clean water, soften that edge. And I've got that. Right, now I am going to finish with the hairdryer. So now I am going to use my big mop brush, and I'm going to stick to these sort of bluey undertones for a little minute. So for the shadow, so this same light blue but a little bit more definition. And then I'm just going to soften off the base of the So these are just this pale blue undertones. Lots of water. So into that I'm going to drop this sort of purpley colour. It's like a Darkston purple. Some shadows. The water is your friend. It's dried out a bit much, but we'll pop some water on. Some beautiful movement of colour on the mane. So I'm also going to drop in some of this dark blue that we put on here for the real shadowy spaces. Just letting it flow. And this is where you need to be patient and let it do its thing. Because if you mess with it, it then disturbs it, and you end up in a space where you think, oh, I wish I'd left it alone. I might just drop a bit more of this blue. She says, leave it alone. I know. Right. I am. I'm going to leave it alone. So back in with my little number 4 brush, just to put some markings along that horn. Water, soften away those edges. I'm just going to pop a little bit of that purple into that whitewash. nostril. So this is the same dark blue but with just paint. So this is like an indigo colour. Again, you could use Payne's Grey. A little bit more water in the mix. And there we have quite a nice monochrome unicorn. Lots of fun. You could put some metallic on there. So I'm just looking now, and I'm going to darken that ear, the inside, again using just that dark blue. Wash my brush and just use a damp brush to finish doing that little bit of painting, and it goes into the wash nicely. Strengthen this mouth a little bit. Wash the brush. So just to finish off, I'm just going to use my little metallic set here. I have to work these to quite a mixture. I'm just going to run a little bit of a metallic highlight over the top bit of the horn, and then that will just give it a shimmer. And I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to leave it to dry. I'm not going to dry it with a hairdryer, and that is allowing all these beautiful textures to come. So be patient, but I hope you enjoy it, because look at that, 20 minutes painting time. Lovely.